Am I wrong for not letting my dad's wife name or see my baby? I'm 25 and pregnant. My dad got remarried when I was 17. Me and her never got along. She always pushed me and she wanted me to call her mom and then got mad when I didn't. She got mad that my dad was choosing me over her because we would go out together, just me and him. She went through my text messages, got mad at me for talking to my boyfriend about my depression and how I was feeling and not to her. She tried to take the stuff that I paid for away, my phone, car, etc. Tried to make me babysit her kids multiple times, even on my prom night. She tried to make me lose weight by fasting for a week straight. I'm a healthy weight, always was and still am, but that has always been monitored by a doctor due to health issues then and now. Me and my dad still talk, just not as much. He wanted to meet for brunch, so I said yes, unaware that he was bringing her. When they came in, we talked for a bit casually with my husband there too, until we got into the topic of my pregnancy. She asked me all kinds of questions until she gets to names. She told me that I was going to name the baby Amy, her daughter's name. I politely said no and said we already had a few names in mind. She started saying why she wasn't allowed to name her grandchild and she thought that she would get that right, and I told her it's our right. That was another issue. She kept saying that I was taking away her right as a grandparent and that I've always been such a bitch to her for no reason, and she knew that I never accepted her as a mother from the beginning, but I'm a bad parent if I'm going to project that onto my kid. However, this is when I stopped everything and told her she's not allowed around my kid ever. She kept pushing it, saying that she always knew I was a brat, but to be this bitter to someone who only helped her is absurd. I said that she can think that all she wants, but I'm going to be naming our child whatever we decide, and that name won't be it. Then she decided to try to hit close to home, saying that I was going to be a horrible mother. I'm already not taking care of myself. I look like shit. I'm already eating too much and probably killing the baby with how much I eat. And I just keep adding to how much of a self-centered person I am by taking away her bonding with her grandchild. Whoa, that hit me hard. But I was through. I told her she's not going to be seeing my child ever when she's born, since she wanted to push her luck. Before I could say more, my husband grabbed our stuff and we left. I've never ever gotten so many messages from so many different people in my life. Multiple people are telling me that she was wrong, but I know how she can get, but I shouldn't deny her her grandbaby. Others are saying I'm an asshole and my father is on her side too. I honestly think I'm 100% in the right. It could be self-absorbed of me to say, but I do. But everyone else besides my husband thinks I'm a raging bitch. So, am I the asshole?
You know what fucking hurts? When you look around and realize people you thought were your friends aren't your fucking friends. So let me tell you about my moment. So I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. The last 4 months, I've been horribly fucking depressed. Like, the most depressed I've been in years. I didn't leave the house. I packed on a shitload of weight. I moved about 15 minutes outside of, like, the heart of Denver. And I didn't realize, like, just that little 15-minute drive would isolate me so fucking much. Like, I just, it is what it is, you know? Well, I reached out to my friend group. And, you know, I see on their Instagram all the time, like, they're doing things without me. I'm never getting invited. And in my head, I'm like, fuck me, like, 15 minutes isn't that far. Like, maybe they just, like, don't like me anymore. And so I, like, asked them, I was like, hey, like, I'm really not doing okay. Can you guys, like, bring me in more? Like, I don't live that far. Like, I can catch an Uber, like, please. And then I'm sitting there in my head, like, why am I begging people to hang out with me? Like, Morgan, what the fuck? But, like, I was in such a bad spot that it was just, like, it was better than being alone. So then they're like, yeah, girly girl, no problem, girly pop, love you, girl. Well, I had to initiate. I invited one of my, like, girlfriends in that group to, like, meet me out for drinks. And it was, like, the first time I had been out and seen people in, like, a month and a half. And so I'm talking to her and I was like, hey, listen, like, I'm, like, really not doing okay. Here's what's going on. And, like, I just needed to talk. And she's like, and I was like, yeah, so if you guys could, like, bring me in more, like, I'd really like that. Like, you guys are my friends. She's like, yeah, no problem. And then, like, right after she says that, she starts telling me about how they all booked a trip together. And she's telling me about, like, the intricacies of this trip and all these things they're going to do as I'm actively not invited. And I'm just sitting there, like, clenching my drink, like, this is so fucking hard to hear right now. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Like, I've asked you guys numerous times to, like, bring me in more, and you're sitting here after I just poured my heart out to you, and you're telling me about a trip you guys are all going on, and how, like, oh my god, it's gonna be so much fun. And so I just was like, I close out, I go home, sob the entire way home. I'm so fucking sad. And so then I reach out to her, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna be so honest with you, like, that really hurt my feelings. Like, I actively told you, like, how alone I feel, and how I would pray you guys would, like, bring me in, and you just sat there and, like, just talked about how I'm actively not invited to another thing. She's like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel like that. Well, fast forward 6 weeks. I get a text from her. Haven't heard from anyone. Absolute fucking crickets. I get a text from her. She's like, sorry, I've just been struggling with like seasonal depression and I just need to I had to focus on myself and like talking to you gave me a lot of anxiety. But if you want to meet up and chat, we can do that now. And I'm like, you didn't give a fuck about my depression, how bad I was doing. You let me go 6 weeks without hearing from you and now you just want to pop back up?
I, 25 female, have a 2-year-old son from a previous relationship. After I gave birth, I was asked about birth control. I said yes please, and now I have Nexplanon, a birth control that gets inserted into your upper arm. I was told it lasts 3 years. Cut to now, my fiance, 27 male, told me that he wants a baby. I said I did too, just not now, and that I'd get my birth control out after the 3 years are up and I won't replace it. This wasn't soon enough for him. He wanted me pregnant now. I stood firm and said I'm not ready to have another baby. I want to be a little bit more stable, money-wise and in general. Fiance was mad and we got into a big argument. I brought up my son and told him how my son sees him as a father figure and that we already have a child to take care of when my birth control runs its course. All of a sudden, he started shouting at me, saying he wanted a baby that's biologically his and that every time he looks at my son, he gets angry. I asked him why and he told me it's because he sees my ex in my son. My son looks a lot like his father. He then went on to tell me that he doesn't feel like a parental figure to my son. He has no personal attachment to him. He says it's because my son isn't biologically his and he resents us for this. Hence, the baby talk. He wanted my arm implant out immediately. I said, no way, I'm not ready for another baby yet. We continue to argue about this until I'm finally tired and frustrated, so I say I'm done arguing and just head into our bedroom. An important fact to know is that I take medication to sleep, a pretty strong medication with a high dosage. It knocks me flat on my ass. The Sandman comes and slaps me across the face, so I'm down for the count. After the argument, I take my pills and go to bed. My fiance was still in the living room when I fell into a deep sleep. Now, another important fact. My fiance knows where my implant is, as it's very noticeable when you're feeling around for it. I'm sleeping when I stir slightly awake after I felt fingers on my upper arm, prodding. With my eyes still shut, I tell my fiance to stop poking me. I assumed he was just being petty and childish because of the fight. He doesn't stop and 5 seconds after poking me, he presses down in the exact spot my Nexplanon is. At this point, I'm starting to get more alert and annoyed. I just wanted to sleep and I can't do that when I'm being jabbed. The minute I open my eyes, I notice that an object in his free hand, a box cutter, which was very close to my upper arm. Now I'm on full alert and ask him what the fuck he's doing. He immediately looks guilty and tries to throw excuses at me. I was just trying to scare you. I was just checking to make sure that you were alive and it's a coincidence I'm holding the box cutter. I called BS on every excuse and said I wanted the truth. He looked down and then told me that he was doing me a favor. What favor? Glad you asked. He was going to remove the Nexplanon from my arm. He said he's studied how to do it and he's confident that he can safely remove it. He said, we can start expanding our family now. No need to wait 8 months. I am livid. I immediately shout to him to get the F away from me and don't touch me. He tries to talk to me, but I keep yelling until he leaves. He can't stay at our house right now because he admitted that he was trying to cut into my arm, thus breaking my trust. Finally, he walked out of the bedroom and a minute later, I heard the front door open and close. It's been 3 hours and he still hasn't come back and I don't know what to do when he does. I don't know where we're going from here. I love this man dearly, but I don't think I can forgive and forget this. I don't know what to do. I ended up leaving last night with my son to stay at my mom's. I was confused, shocked, hurt, scared. I still am. At 7 this morning, my phone started buzzing like crazy. Texts, calls, voicemails, all were from him, asking me where I went and when I was coming home. I just don't even want to look at him or talk to him again. He called my mom while we were both sitting in the kitchen discussing everything. She asked me if I wanted her to answer it. I said I just didn't want to talk to him. My mom ended up answering and my ex was yelling, sounding panicky. He said I left with my son last night out of the blue and he's worried. No mention of our fight. He asked when my mom last heard of me and she lied and said last night. He made a noise over the phone, like angry sigh, and he said that he was going to keep searching for me. That he's worried something bad has happened or will happen to me and my son. When my mom hung up, she pulled me into a hug. I guess I had started crying and didn't realize it. She was still hugging me when she asked how I wanted to proceed, if I was done with him for good. I said I was. She nodded and told me the first thing I was going to do was go to the police. I didn't have any proof about the box cutter situation. It would come down to my word versus his. If he had even nicked me a little, I'd have a case against him. But since he technically didn't hurt me, the detective said he's seen cases similar to mine thrown out. The officer did bring up ex parties and suggested I get one for both me and my son immediately. I went to the courthouse to get the paperwork filled out. I had to detail as much as I could remember from last night. Every word in action. My mom helped me when we got them turned in and moved into the next step, calling my landlord. I've been living in the same house for 2 years. The first year was a lease and now I pay month to month. Everything is in my name and most of the furniture is mine. I told my landlord what was briefly going on and that I was putting in my 30-day notice. My mom has a guest room and she's insisting that I stay in. After getting off the phone with him, I called the utilities and closed my accounts, water, electric, gas, internet. Next, my mother asked me what I want to do about my belongings. I told her that I don't want to leave anything that's mine. All important papers, knickknacks, clothes, furniture, all of it. I just didn't know where to put it, so my mom suggested a storage unit. Mom ended up calling my 2 brothers and they both agreed to help me move. I told them definitely sometime this week and my eldest brother suggested a police presence, just in case. Think it's called a civil standby? The county clerk ended up calling me, telling me that the judge granted my ex parties. She told me that I needed to come pick up the paperwork, which had the court date on it. She also mentioned ex-fiance would soon be served and told me that I don't have to see him again until we go to court to make the ex parties into permanent restraining orders. She suggested lawyering up, but I'm officially burnt out on today. I'll look into lawyers tomorrow.
This drunk asshole tried to steal my keys this weekend and I pulled up at his house to get my fucking keys back. Let me tell you about it. So I called my mom Friday night and I was like, hey, we both had a long week. Do you want to meet me out for some drinks at the bar right next to my house? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. So we go there, and there's a guy sitting at the bar by himself, and he's got like a seat to the right of him, seat to the left of him. And I was like, hey man, like, do you mind if like you would scoot down a seat so my mom and I can like sit together? And he's like, no, doesn't even look at me. And I was like, I mean, fair, he was here first, but like, fuck. So I like go to the side of him, like grab the chair, and I move it to where like, if here's the bar, like my mom's here and I'm behind her. And I'm like, put my purse on the bar with my keys, and I'm ordering at the bartender, and the guy next to us was like, turns to me, like looks me up and down and like goes, and I was like, you good? And he's like, aren't you a little young to be here? And I go, aren't you a little old to be here? Like, don't fucking play me. He goes, do you have a wristband? And I go, what, do you double as door security? Why the fuck would I show you? And he like takes my like thing and like pulls it down. So like, see if I have a wristband. I was like, don't touch me. And he grabs it and rips it off. And I was like, okay, like, cool, strong man. You broke some paper. Do you want a fucking high five? And so he like huffs and puffs, goes to the bathroom. And I like turned to bartender. I was like, what the fuck is up with this guy? And they're like, oh, he comes here a lot. It's like, he's just kind of a dick, whatever. Well, he comes back, closes out, and leaves, right? I didn't realize this fucking guy took my keys as he left. I didn't see it. So about an hour goes by. My mom wants to close out. I'm like, yeah, no problem. I go to grab my keys. It's not there. And I was like, I know this fucking guy didn't take my keys. I know he fucking didn't. So I have an air tag on my keys, right? I checked the location. That shit is in fucking Commerce City. I'm in Denver. And I was like, okay. I was like, Mom, so I'm going to be calling an Uber. We're going to be going to Commerce City really quick. She's like, Morgan, like, it's late. It's after hours. Like, it's dark out. We probably shouldn't be going, like, to somebody's house in the middle of the night. Not a good idea. I was like, no, fuck that guy. Fuck that. I know he's got my keys. I know exactly where he's at. We're going. So against her free will, she got in the car. I pull up, and it's like behind the Wonder Bread factory. There's like stray dogs everywhere. I get out the Uber, and I said, keep that shit running. I'll add a stop, but hold up. I go bop, 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 bop. And like this older couple like answers the door. She's holding a robe like, hello? And I go, hi, do you have like a 40-year-old son that lives here? She's like, yes, he's asleep. And I go, yeah. And I show her my phone. I go, he took my fucking keys to the bar and I want him back. We don't have to get cops involved. We don't have to do anything. I just gave him my keys and I'll leave amicably. She's like, oh, okay. And so she like goes to get her son, and her husband is just mean mugging me at the door. Like, and I was like, and so she's screaming at her kid like in Spanish. And the 40-year-old guy comes out and is like wiping the sleep out of his eyes. And I look like I go, give me my fucking keys back. And he's like all white-faced. And he's like, And I was like, give me my fucking keys back. So I'm like, give me my fucking keys back, dude. Like, don't fucking do this. Just give me my keys. And he's like, switches up real quick. He goes, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm so mad. I show him the app and I go, it says it is here in Commerce City at this address. You have my keys. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I press the button where it shows like which direction it's in and like how far. And it says 23 feet from the room he just walked out of. And I go, how about you go check again? And his mom like turns him and starts like cussing him the fuck out in Spanish. I know like 2 words in Spanish, and the only words I hear are puta, which is bitch, which I assume that was me, naturally. And, or maybe it was him, because he was also a bitch. And I also hear carcel, which I know is jail. So then I start getting big chested. I was like, get my fucking keys and we don't have to call the cops. We don't have to send you to jail, but you're stealing right now. You took my shit. It is here. Go get him. And like his dad is just like mean mugging me, like holding that door like, I was like, why the fuck you mad at me? You raised a piece of shit. And so he comes out and he's holding my keys up like the most condescending fuck I've ever seen. He's like, well, convenient for you. I found them. And I go, convenient for me? How? You inconvenienced me by having to drive here to get my fucking keys back. Then he goes, thought you didn't have keys to your car. And I was like, Uber. And then I was like, why am I talking to this fucking guy? So he like hands him back to me, and I take him, and his mom's like, sorry. I just don't say anything. And I just like walk fast as fuck into the Uber, shut the door, and the lady's like, where am I going? I go, fucking just drive, bitch. I'll like put it in now. Just go. I turned to my mom and I was like, pretty badass, right? And she smacks the fuck out of me. She's like, Morgan Elise, don't ever fucking do that again. What the fuck were you thinking? I was like, pretty badass though, right? Like, bitch, I said like, yo, pull up, get my keys. She's madder than hell at me. And the Uber lady is like, can you please put the second stop in? Like, I don't know where we're going. I was like, oh yeah, sorry. We're going back to the bar you picked us up at. Like, my car's there. And that was the end of the story.
You know, in high school, you got that one person that you wake up every day and you're just looking forward to see. Even though they're not your friend, you're just like, I can't wait to see them today. For the sake of the story, we're gonna call my friend Bo, because I didn't text him today and get his real name, and we asked for permission here, so I didn't ask him for permission, so we're gonna call him Bo. As some of y'all know, I went to 7 high schools. 7-ass high schools. This was my 6th. This was High School of the Arts, the little gay high school that I went to. And when I got there, it was second semester, it was like after winter break, and everyone was talking about Bo. Everyone was talking about how Bo dumped his girlfriend and came out of the closet and all this stuff. And like out of a movie, here comes Bo walking through the hallways. He had bleached his hair blonde, had all of this sass, and was just about it. And I was like, oh my God, I aspire to be that gay. I aspire to be like that sassy. So I'm just like low-key stalking him the first year. Like we don't have any classes together, but I see him around. I auditioned for whatever play he auditioned for. And I'm just like trying to like get to know how he became so like himself. Like how did he get there? And I would like say hi here and there. He'd say hi to me. He was always nice to me. And like I said, this was a very gay high school. Like the boys there were ruthless, especially the black gay boys. They would not let it go with me. They would not let it go. I'd be like in the bathroom and they'd be like, oh, hey, Andrew. And I'd like leave VB. I'd be in class and they'd be like saying all this shit about me. Specifically one person in particular. Let's call him D. D would not let it go. I love D though. Like I think even though like we had our little things here and there, little issues, because he would try to out me all the time. We'd be in class and he'd be like, Miss Kendall, our Spanish teacher, I can't concentrate. I can't concentrate because Andrew's still in the closet. I can't focus on Spanish until this gay boy comes out. And I was like, oh my God, dude, please, I cannot believe you try to out me in this class. I was like, Miss Kendall, he'd be plucking his eyebrows so high, so maybe that's the reason why he can't concentrate. He might got an ingrown hair up near his brain. That's probably what's going on. And that's what it was like daily. I think all the boys knew, but some boys knew to leave me alone, some boys didn't. Like D would just pressure. I think Bo knew, but he did, like I said, he didn't pressure me. I think after my little exy poo and I broke up, I was like, I had the courage, like, finally, I'm gonna go talk to Bo. So I went to go up to Bo and I'm like, listen, have you seen the movie, Party Monster? Because it was a very big gay movie. And I was like trying to like, let him know that I was gay, but not say anything. He's like, oh my God, I love that movie. And I was like, oh yeah, do you know when Seth Green and, Macaulay Culkin do that little dance in the kitchen? And he was like, yes. So every time we'd see each other in the hallway, he would like just make eye contact with me, and I'd make eye contact with him, and we'd be like, doop, 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 doop. And then we'd go on field trips together, we'd be sharing pretzels. And then then at one point he did ask me, like, he had a birthday party. I showed up an hour early. I was like, do you need help setting up your birthday party? I just wanted to be near him. I thought he was so cool. I just thought he was so cool. I helped him set up his birthday party, and then later on he asked, like, are you gay? And I was like, I'm not. I go off to college at the University of Minnesota. I'm looking out the window like it's my second semester, and I see Bo. I see Bo outside. I'm like, there's no way he's up on my campus. I'm in the student union at my university, so I run outside. It's my freshman year. I'm like, what's he doing outside? So I go, Bo? He turned around, and we're both like, me and you must never part ever again, because we were super excited. We kiki, we're laughing, we're having our little moments, and I'm like, you need to come here. We can have our own little gay life, because I had finally come out of the closet. So I wasn't in the closet when we met in high school. He was just like, you gay now. And I'm like, yeah, you gay and I'm gay. But he said, wait, not too much, not too much. My parents are right next to me. We can't be talking about gay stuff. So he goes off, comes back the very next year. He gets into the university, and we're super inseparable, y'all. It's like, when I talk about, I know I see some comments on here about twin flames. He is, I don't know, we just like, there's something about the Milwaukee vibes. The Milwaukee vibes are just there. We just get each other. And I know some of y'all are going to be like, did y'all ever date? No, we never dated, y'all. Like, in high school, there was a little bit of a connection that between us, and there was something, but by the time he got to college, we just kind of like, we're like, no, what? We just brothers. We're twin brothers. We just have something special in friendship way. But yes, so he comes to college, and we're just super close. I got Kyle now, I got Lauren, and now I got Bo. So we just like all inseparable. And I'm also dating people here and there, just some whack dudes. I dated the Christian boy who's now straight for God. And I dated the dude that, like, I got jumped for, basically. And we broke up. And I was at home feeling sad about myself, and Mr. Bo was like, I'm gonna come over, we're gonna do a photo shoot. Cause we do photo shoots. We'd recreate American Next Top Model photo shoots and stuff. Cause we were always a fool, but that's all, he just knew how to make me feel better. He'd always be like, you were amazing. These boys are whack. These boys ain't shit. You're amazing, you're attractive, you got a lot going for you. He always made me feel like I was better than I actually was. That's just how Bo is. That's just who he is. And if you're from Milwaukee, then you know, but if you're not from Milwaukee, I'm about to put you on. The people from Milwaukee, even the white folks, they're just raised different. They're just, especially if you went to public school in Milwaukee, you were just around black folk, brown people of color. There's nothing weird or strange. It's just how you are and who you are. It's not fake and phony. It's better. It's way better. I don't know. But here are some photos of me and Bo back in the day. We're babies. Look at us. We're just babies. This is my friend's birthday party. Look at us. We're so young. Here's me, Lauren, and Bo. Looking like children. This is Milwaukee pride. Us Milwaukee babies all together. The funny thing is that Lauren started hanging out with him a lot, too. Lauren was like, I'm gonna go hang out with Bo because you bothering me today. Oh, my youth. The youth. The young. We young. Seriously, y'all, whatever he did, I did. We shaved his head, I shaved my head. We were twins. Twin flames. That's 20 years of friendship, yo.
Okay, so y'all probably hate me. I understand where y'all coming from. It was wrong. You right. If he gonna cheat, he gonna cheat, this and that and the third. But I'm gonna tell y'all why he allowed me to cut his dreads. So me and this boy been together for a whole year, right? Not only that, y'all, he was never my type. I never wanted to be with him. He texted me and I was like, no, I'm really not feeling you. He begged me to be with him. So that's why I don't be understanding with people. How do you beg somebody to be with you and then go do the things that you do? Which don't make sense to me. So he's not even from here. He's from Alabama. He's not from Ohio. He's from Alabama. He's from a different state. So you moved your life all the way from a different state, which is 19 hours away, to do the things that you do, which I don't understand. So you don't know nobody here. You don't know anything about Ohio, but you do the things that you do. So I'm going to tell y'all what happened. I'm really not good at story time, so be very, very patient with me. Okay, so on January 14th, this is when he cheated, the day before my birthday. And then he brings the dude to my house on my birthday, which was January 15th. I turned 21. Remind y'all, this man didn't even say happy birthday to me. So, January 14th, I wake up around like, was it the 14th? Okay. I woke up in the morning, that's all I know. He wasn't laying next to me. I'm like, okay, cool. I went back to sleep because I'm thinking he in the bathroom because he usually be in the bathroom. Then, I wake back up again around like 4 or 5. He's still not there, right? I'm like, okay, well, he probably still in the bathroom because I'm just thinking like he in the bathroom. The next day, on Sunday on my birthday, he bring the person over to my house and was like, well, this is my friend, this is my homie. I want you to be my friend because I'm about to go kick it with him. We about to go smoke. That was already a red flag with it. Like, something tells me, like, in my body tells me when something is off, and I know when something is off. And first of all, this is how I knew he was lying. Because you from Alabama, and then you just meet somebody 2 hours ago. You don't know nobody up here. Like, be for real right now. This is your homie. You just met this nigga like 2-3 hours ago, and this is your homie. Don't play with me, because I'm not born yesterday. Then, like I said, he brought me to my house on my birthday. I don't know this guy, so I went outside. I'm like, hey, bro, I don't know. You got to go. Like, get off my property. Like, I don't know who you is. This and that and the third, right? He like, hey, gang, I ain't with that. Let me tell y'all, this dude was DL. So, the dude is DL and stuff, right? Playing like he's straight. So, okay, so y'all probably like, how you know, like, he just really wasn't his friend and things like that? My ex, he lost his job 3 months ago, right? So, it's not possible that he's making any friends because all he do is lay in his house all day. So, that's out the picture. It's different if he was working and he met this person at the job and then he was, like, talking about him and was like, oh, well, I got a friend at work and he just like to chill. He want to smoke and stuff, right? He met him off of Snapchat because he downloaded Snapchat. I guess when you is close to somebody on Snapchat, like in the area, you can add them as a friend. That's what he did, basically. They was texting and stuff like that, I guess. I don't know. Because, remind y'all, okay, on my birthday, on my birthday, I took the phone that I bought him, which was my 14 Pro Max. He wouldn't give me the code or nothing because he knew what the messages was in that phone. Y'all, basically, let me just tell y'all. I works. I'm in nursing and things like that. I worked my ass off. He lost his job. I make sure this boy have food. I make sure this boy eat. I make sure this boy got a place to lay his head. He can shower. He don't pay rent. What else? I gave him a Christmas that was worth almost $4,000. So this is my thing. You from a different state. You move up here. You begs me to be with you. And you do the shit that you do. Hell yeah, I'm gonna cut your dress off. The reason why he let me cut his dress off because he was guilty. The boy's in love with me. But how can you be in love with somebody and do the shit that you did? It don't make sense. But you know what they say? People be cheating but don't want to let go of you because they know that they will never find another person like you. So basically, that's how I thought about it. Like, you don't want to let me go because you know ain't nobody gonna match my level, ain't gonna be on the type of shit I'm on, ain't gonna be 21 as a nurse, riding in a BMW and shit like that. You know ain't nobody gonna match that energy like me. So what you do is you want to do your shit in private and then come back home and lay your head down. It ain't happening. So when I found that shit, I said, hey, bro, you gotta go. Like, you going back home. No, I'll let you do anything you want. I'll let you just cut my hair, just please. You know, this important to me. The reason why he cheated because he thought I was cheating and he's very insecure. That don't give you the right to go cheat. That means you have a sit down with me. You come talk to me. Y'all probably think I'm the bad guy, but I'm not. I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm not the bad guy. He allowed it because he knew he was guilty. So, I did what I did and sent his ass right back home. Now you bald-headed. That's what the fuck it solved. That's what it solved. It solved me getting the last laugh. You should never did what you did. If y'all know y'all can't handle bad people and good-looking people, don't go jumping in a relationship with people. Because I look hella good when I got my hair cut. But if you know you is insecure, do not go jumping in a relationship with a person that look good all the time. Y'all gonna let somebody come to y'all house that y'all dude saying is their friend, introduce them to you on your birthday, your 21st birthday, and then your dude don't even say happy birthday to you. Y'all really about to let somebody play in y'all face like that? Like, let's be for real. Y'all really about to let somebody play in your face like that? If you do, you're stupid. I don't let nobody play in my face like that. So yeah, I got my revenge on you. And now you back home, bald-headed, looking stupid, with all your hair cut out. Because you want to be a fool that I didn't even want. You begged me. Oh, okay. If you let somebody play in your face like that, it ain't no walking away with me not getting my revenge. And I got what I wanted, my last laugh.
I'm on the phone with 911 today, right? And I did not like this woman whatsoever. I'm trying to tell her that somebody tried to break into my apartment because I'm sitting on my bed, I look out my window, and I hear footsteps coming up my fire escape. But I dismiss it. I'm like, maybe it's my downstairs neighbor taking the stairs to his place or something. But then I turn around, I look out the window, there's a full-grown man standing outside the window looking into my bedroom. He's like late 50s, early 60s, that hairline hasn't been in business since the 80s, white hair, heavy set. Now, I got a bat in here, and I don't play baseball, so I was thinking I should bat first, ask questions later, but instead I'm too nice, and I'm waiting for him to tell me like, oh, your landlord sent me or something. So he walks across my balcony past my window so I can't see him anymore, and there's only one place on my balcony that I can't see you, and that's behind the door that leads to my bedroom. So at this point I realized like I'm here alone and he sees me here alone, and now he's made an effort to go to the door that leads to my bedroom. So I FaceTime my mom so she can see him too, right? Because I didn't want to be the only one who saw him. Once my dad gets wind of this, which is about as fast as my mom's texting thumbs can fly, 30 seconds as the crow flies, Hollywood might as well get a hold of this because he calls me the second she hangs up and he's like, call the police right now. The woman who answered my 911 call, you would have thought I insulted 3 generations of her family. She's like, man, this is a life or death line. So are you saying this is not an emergency? Well, first of all, Cheryl, I wouldn't describe this event as chill vibes. Second of all, this is not a life or death line. I have witnessed somebody call 911 to get themselves lifted out of a pool. An empty pool. She's like, well, do we need to send officers or have you filed a police report? I'm like, both would be nice. I've already filed a police report. And she's like, okay, so then you need to wait for investigators to call you. What investigator? Inspector Gadget? Nobody's gonna call me for this. Nobody's gonna get in touch with me for this unless they need to investigate because something worse happened. So she doesn't send me any officers. So I tell my dad that, right? Because if an officer doesn't come here, my dad's gonna blame me. My ass is on the line. So I tell him I tried and he's like, give me 1 minute. 5 minutes later, that exact first responder calls me back. I'm like, Dad, how did you even find her? How did you know that was the exact one that I spoke to? She calls me, she's like, so I just spoke to your dad. I'm like, my condolences, first of all. She's like, so would you like an officer to your place? That would be nice. Like, you can understand why I'd be a little bit freaked out, Cheryl. There's been a lot of break-ins in the area. This man doesn't live here, doesn't work here, and he's ugly. So yeah, I'm a little bit freaked out. You would have thought that every time she sends out an officer, somebody she loves has to die.